Welcome to another episode of the UCLA Bruins Insider Podcast. As always, I'm your host, Con Moreno, lead writer for UCLA Bruins on SI. And today we're going to talk a little bit about UCLA's latest commitment, three-star defensive lineman David Schwartzel. I know it's a couple days removed, but I was unable to record a podcast yesterday and talk about it. So today we're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about where it moved the Bruins up national recruiting lists. We talk about how some coaches and recruiting coordinators from UCLA are moving up in their own personal recruiter rankings, and we're going to talk about kind of how this is affecting the Bruins and kind of their trajectory moving forward. So without further ado, let's get right into it. As you know, the Bruins went ahead and landed three-star, although 24/7 Sports has him listed as a four-star, three-star defensive end, David Schwartzel. He comes by way of Seattle, Washington, and it was a little bit of a surprise. He had offers and visits from Washington, UCLA, and Stanford. Washington, obviously, his home state. Before he committed, he had crystal ball predictions on 24/7 Sports for the Huskies. He on Rivals, they had him projected 75% that he'd commit to the Huskies, but he didn't. I mean, Stanford also had interest. Basically, I mean, it was a shocker that he committed to the Bruins. But he was recruited by Ikaika Malloy. He's been doing incredible. He's been shooting up the recruiting ranks. I think after the signing, he moved up 18 spots to number 34 on the national recruiting rank. So yeah, it was a pretty big signing. 24/7 Sports did an evaluation on him. It was their national recruiting analyst, Greg Biggins. So I'm just going to go ahead and read an excerpt about what he said about Schwartzel. He said, Schwartzel is one of the top defensive linemen out west and brings a lot of positional versatility to the table. We could see him playing in any scheme and moving around and playing some edge, 3-tech, or as a traditional tackle, depending on the front. He has a big, strong 6'3" and a half, 265-pound frame and could easily carry 290 pounds without losing any of his athleticism. He has length, strong hands, and plays with good pad level. He's a tough kid who can play the run and offers some pass rush ability. He's a high-motor defender who pursues well to the football and can run down plays from behind. He has the multi-sport background we like, and along with football, also plays hoops and throws the shot in the track. He has NFL ceiling if he reaches his potential and should be a multi-year starter at the next level. So the Bruins are getting a dynamic defensive end, which is probably why 24/7 Sports has him ranked as a 4-star, but he's a composite 3-star. So yeah, and his commitment at the time moved the Bruins up to have the number 8 overall class in the 2026 football rankings. At least on 24/7 Sports, they're a little bit more kind in their ratings, specifically for the Bruins. Rivals had them moved up to 10. On3 had them at like 13 or something like that. But needless to say, yeah, at the time, the Bruins had the number 8 recruiting class. I don't think they've had a top 10 or finished with a top 10 recruiting class since maybe 2013, something like that. I know it was over a decade ago. Yeah, now I think at the time of this recording on Rivals, they're number 11. On 24/7 Sports, they're number 9. So yeah, they're ranking good. And with that being said, I wanted to go ahead and check out kind of where these UCLA recruiters are ranking among other recruiters in the nation. At number 18, we have Burl Toller. Let me see. Yeah. Number 18, we have Burl Toller. He has 6 commits. He's UCLA's wide receiver coach. So yeah, he's responsible for Jonas Smith. He's responsible for the Pula brothers. One of them is a 4-star, one of them is a 3-star. He's responsible for Kenneth Moore III, who just had his official visit, but he's already committed. He has obviously the 3-stars that they recently got last week, Xavier Stinson and Santana Carlos. He's number 19 on the national recruiting list with 6 commits. I think it's the most of any coach on the Bruins. He was directly involved with getting these commitments. And then we move up about 8 spots ahead, and 27 is Andy Kwan, offensive line coach. He's only responsible for 3 commits, but 2 of them are the highest rated of the class, and that's Micah Smith and Johnny Jones Jr. They're both 4-stars, and they're Deshaun Foster's highest rated recruits, not only of 2026, but of his entire tenure on the Bruins. So, yeah, Andy Kwan has been putting in work, and he's definitely responsible for some of the bigger ones. Obviously, his third recruit is offensive lineman Cooper Jaworski, 3-star. Great list of recruits Andy Kwan has. And then we're going back to Malloy. He's a defensive coordinator. As you know, he's number 34. He has 4 commits. He jumped 18 spots, as I said, after landing Schwartzel on Thursday. And then he has 4 3-star commits. And he's been integral to not only the visits in Westwood, but the at-home visits. And he's been really good at building a foundation, preaching the philosophy that Deshaun Foster is fostering. I catch myself saying that a lot, but yeah, he's good on that. He's responsible for Anthony Jones, Schwartzel, as I said, Ranzak Fruin, Matthew Mausau, and they're all 3 Muasau. Sorry, they're all 3-star pledges. So yeah, and those are the only coaches within the top 35. We'd have to move up to number 146 in the nation, Demetrius Martin. He has 2 commits. He's the secondary coach. He's responsible for 2 Rancho Cucamonga products, Justin Lewis and Joshua Mensah, both 3-stars. Regardless, both really good recruits. So, Deshaun Foster is not only himself playing a huge part in kind of shifting this recruiting culture in Westwood. It's his coaching staff, it's his recruiting staff. Everyone is doing a great job of not only identifying talent, but reaching out to them, building the foundation for a really good relationship, carrying on that relationship, not over the course of weeks, months, carrying on that relationship over the course of years. There's a few recruits that have committed that said, oh yeah, I got in contact with Coach Malloy my freshman year, 2 years ago or something like that. And he's always been in contact. So, they've been doing a really good job of sustaining those relationships so that when the time comes, they're ready to commit to Westwood. And it does help that they're riding this hot recruiting streak. They have 18 recruits for 2026. They've had 11 of them just in the month of June. And mostly in the last 2 weeks, not even the first week of June, in the last 2 weeks of June, they've had 11 commits. They've been going crazy. I think the next big decision is going to be 4-star quarterback Oscar Rios. He's deciding between the Bruins and between Arizona. That'll be on June 27th, so a week from yesterday, which is today when you're listening to this. And yeah, the Bruins are riding a hot streak. They're climbing up the ranks. The recruiters are climbing up the ranks. And who knows, maybe tomorrow they'll land another commit. We'll see. But yeah, with that being said, that's going to be the episode. As always, thank you for listening to the UCLA Bruins Insider Podcast. I'm your host, Connor Moreno, and we'll see you tomorrow.